All right, I got 3 things to say if you like this anime. 1, I need to know who your best girl is in this anime, so please put them in the comments. I personally think it's Nagisa, but we can debate on that. 2, I lost a lot of brain cells watching this anime, but I 100% believe that it's the dumpster fire anime of this summer. Number 3, hello and welcome to Atrocious Gameplay. Today we're going to be going over another atrocious or amazing video that I have in this series, where I'm going to go over an anime series that just wrapped up, or one that I watched that happened in the past, and let you know how it is, whether you should binge it, skip it, etc. Now, I've got several videos already going over stuff like this that you can check out in the iCard. There's a playlist there if you want to see other animes that I've covered, but in this, if you do not know, we're going to go over a lot of the events that happen in the show. We're going to go over characters, things like that, so there's going to be some spoilers. If you want to avoid the spoilers, or maybe you just want to simply hear my opinion, make sure to go to the time that is listed down below. And while we wait for you, once again, let me know who you think the best girl is, but also consider subscribing to the channel. A lot of people that watch the videos are not subscribed to this channel, which is a great thing. And as we're getting super close to 500 subscribers here on YouTube, I'd love for you to join us in our small, tight-knit community that just simply loves anime. All right, but let's just go over what this anime is about. Now, this is a rom-com harem anime that follows Mukai Noya, who at the very beginning of the season started dating childhood friend Saki Saki. Now, this anime somewhat kicks off as soon as they start dating a classmate of theirs. Manasi Nagisa confesses to Noya about her feelings for him. Now, Noya, being the honest character that he is, and is honestly too kind for his own good, is so distraught at the pain it would cause to reject Nagisa, he ends up accepting her offer and tries to convince Saki Saki to let him date both, vowing to both make them happy. I will say, though, he would reject if Saki Saki said, no, I ain't doing it. So at least he's a good guy. The series then throughout the season is basically them navigating their polymorphous relationship. It has a lot of different battles that you would normally see in polymorphous relationships, especially if you're doing one for the first time and you're in a high school setting as well, where the multiple partners that you're dating are competing against each other, trying to make it fair to an extent, and also, like I mentioned, in high school, just keeping it a secret, because they make it very obvious throughout the season that they don't really want any of their classmates or anybody else to know of this, because they're afraid of what they'll think of them. Now, they have several challenges throughout the season that are like mini arcs, you could say, per episode. But once you get to like 4 or 5 episodes into the season, there becomes this one big arc that happens, and it's caused by Hoshizaki Rika. Now, this blonde doesn't only go by Rika, she goes by Mirika on the internet because she is an upcoming MeTube celebrity. I mean, she's what I want to be. I want to be a MeTube celebrity. Like, and as Rika accidentally finds out about Noya, Saki, and Nagisa's relationship, Rika actually ends up falling in love as well with Noyo because of his determination, stubbornness, honesty, just general kindness. I mean, because like I said before, he's just a good guy. It's also a major point that during the Rika introduction arc, Noyo actually saves Rika's YouTube channel. Rika's dad was actually about to delete the MeTube channel because he found out about it and he didn't like it. And Noyo steps in and says, do not do this. This is her life. This is her love, all that stuff. And she's like, whoo. Even though Noyo rejects Rika in her requests to date her, it actually only pushes her determination because she is so distraught about a guy like Noyo rejecting a beautiful young lady like herself. And then through the back third of the season, she's always kind of appearing in these different situations and causing issues for their relationship. Now, the final arc in season 1 comes across when Noyo, Saki, and Nagisa take a hot spring vacation. This is a really important moment for the polymorphous couple because they are finally getting away and they can kind of be themselves a little bit. They can be true to themselves of their dating, of being together, things like that, and it's looking like to be a merry way. Obviously, you know, based on what I said earlier, you know that Rika's gonna show up. She obviously causes a lot of shenanigans and a lot of bickering and a lot of situations, but the more notable note, what does that even mean? But the more notable issue in their trip is Shino, Saki's lifelong friend. In a previous episode or two before they go to the hot springs, Shino is getting actually kind of suspicious about what her friend Saki is involved in. And so she also takes a trip over to the hot springs, and she is hot on the heels of the two-time Noyo. Even with confronting Noyo, they get in some Monka-esque situations that I don't really know if I want to show in the YouTube video because I don't want to get banned. But let me just summarize it by saying that they end up being found out by Shino and they kind of fess up. She promises not to tell anybody about their polyamorous relationship, but she makes sure to let Noyo know that if you screw up, you're Now that we've gone over some of the points, let's kind of talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, which I don't even know if there is ugly in this anime. All the girls are very pretty, and Noyo is not that bad himself. Anyways, back to what's important. This anime with its comedy is enough to give you an ab workout, in my personal opinion. There's a lot of different forms of jokes that come alongside in this anime, including actually funny, punctual jokes, and also super awkward laughing jokes. Stuff that's really like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. Like, what's gonna go on now? Like, those kinds of things. The combination of the two makes it a really, really refreshing anime to watch, in my personal opinion. I mean, this anime's best feature is the fact that it's one big hyperbole. As a viewer, you don't really take anything seriously. And this anime has a lot of fun hyperbolizing the different points of polyamorous relationships while it doesn't feel like it's attacking them either. I also think the jokes in this anime are spread out well enough to make you feel like you're not really repeating the same thing over and over. Another part that I want to point out, a good thing, is that there are character arcs. Y'all know I just absolutely love it when characters grow and change and have different, I just love character arcs. Saki, Noyo's first girlfriend in the anime, obviously has the character arc starting from episode 1. I mean, to be honest, if you had never been in a polyamorous relationship before and all of a sudden your boyfriend says, hey, can I start dating this other person too? And you choose to go in this new dynamic and trying to get used to the other person, you probably go through a character arc in that situation too. I feel like Noyo's arc though is not necessarily super in your face, but it happens throughout the entire season. Noyo's a very honest, kind, very oblivious as well, and super stubborn. He's put his mind to making these two ladies happy and will honestly stop at nothing less. His development as a character though happens in small chunks. Aside from like the hot springs arc or the Rika introduction arc, the episodes where there are small problems that are just kind of one-off situations, Noyo usually learns something, whether that's about Saki or Nagisa or how to handle the relationship as a whole. It makes him continue to grow as a character throughout the story. Nagisa's character arc though is specifically at the end in the hot springs arc. Throughout 10 or 11 episodes of the 12 episode season, Nagisa has always put herself at number 2. She's always put Saki up in front and tried to do for Saki's best interest because she is so grateful for Saki letting her date Noyo, the love of her life. She's completely open to everything in terms of letting Noyo two-time, because even if he's two-timing, he's still spending time with Nagisa, and that time is so valuable, she doesn't want to do anything to lose that. But at the end, during the hot springs arc in like episode 12, she realizes that her happiness matters, and for this relationship to continue progressing and to continue going healthfully, she needs to put herself all in as well. Not necessarily competing with Saki, because that's what she doesn't want. Also, when I say like competing, I mean, yes, they technically compete and they say they do, but not necessarily like screw you type of competing. I think her kind of realizing that her happiness matters is the whole reason why I think she's the best girl. I don't know, it just feels really relatable. The third point I want to bring up of the good things about this anime is it's not like, this isn't hentai. I mean, you look at this key visual right here and you think, looking at it, if you've never seen the anime before, that this guy is going to date all 4 of these girls. But to be honest, in season 1, he's only dating 2 of them. It's not even as much as people think. I mean, sure, they're high school upperclassmen living alone and together. Obviously, there's going to be some instances of like sexual implications, but the funniest part about it is that the characters don't actually want to be like sexual or anything like that. At least in terms of Noyo, Nagisa, and Saki. Rika, though, kind of does, but it's kind of funny because she's like not actually in the relationship and Noyo doesn't necessarily want to date her at this point, at least. I don't know, maybe in the future. But I really like that it doesn't like build a lot of its stuff on like you know, having to do with the taxes. I will say though, even though this isn't a hentai, there are some situations where if your mom walked in on you watching the show, you could be like, this is not what it looks like, aka Shino in the hot springs. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. I don't think I can show that on YouTube. Although you can kind of consider the it's not what it looks like thing a bad thing, there are some actual like kind of bad things about this anime. It's not perfect by any means. One of the gripes that I have about it is I feel like Shino stans really got debated for season 1. Like I already mentioned the key visual right here showing all 4 girls, but like ever since day 1, they have shown Shino like in the themes and stuff and the key visuals. Around like episode 9 when she made her appearance, it became like a waiting game of like, okay, Shino, like give me some Shino glory out here. She didn't really have that much of an impact until like episode 11. I kind of wish they would have done a thing where like, you know, maybe they change up the like intro, outro, things like that when she kind of starts making her appearance or right before she starts making her appearance. I know something like That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime actually did that. They changed up their intro after certain events happened in season 2 part 2. I mentioned that this anime is not overly sexual and it's not hentai, but it's still kind of weird to see high schoolers be put in those situations in relationships where it does get a little bit sexual. Like these characters are 15. I don't know, I kind of would have appreciated it a little bit more. They would probably been a little bit okay with it if they were like 17, 18. It definitely arrives more of the like awkward laugh when there are some situations. But then again, like the characters in the relationship between Saki, Noyo, and Nagisa don't really want that stuff at this point in the anime. But I feel like anytime you get into like a harem anime type deal, like those things just occur. Overall, this was the most enjoyable dumpster fire that I've seen so far. I don't have much harem experience outside of like Date Alive, if you consider that harem, but watching this anime would actually convince me to try like another one. And it also kind of feels somewhat relatable. It sounds kind of weird because I was thinking that 90% or more of the audience that watches these videos has never been in a polyamorous relationship, including myself. But the different dynamics that the characters have with each other in the relationship kind of feels relatable because I was in high school once. I know that relationships in high school are just a hot mess. So it had like some slice of life features to an extent. Now the manga is not inside the US. It's only in Japan and online via translations. Officially though, there are 5 volumes translated, so you can actually read a ton of it if you want, and I plan on doing so. I don't know if the anime is popular enough though to make it into the US or the rest of the world because I feel like they would have released some of it by now. I mean, but maybe time will tell. I mean, Peach Boy Riverside just finished up its first season and there are 2 volumes that are officially out now, and I'm gonna be honest, the anime didn't get a ton of traction, so who knows, one can only hope. I'd love for it to be in my collection though. But overall, in the meantime, this brain cell killing anime garners an 8 out of 10 in my book. It's got very strong, lovable characters that I really enjoyed. It has a healthy amount of jokes, not only about the hyperboles it has, but also about itself. This is probably a really good introduction anime to the harem genre if you want to get into it. Whether that's the harem genre or the rom-com genre even. This is definitely something that I think I'd rewatch for some good laughs. Thank you so much for making it this far into the video. Again, make sure to please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this, you want to see more content that I got. There are some videos that have popped up over there that kind of talk about the different playlists that I have, a lot of videos that we've done so far covering other animes, and please make sure that you stick around for other videos coming out this week as well. There's a lot of different things, including animes finishing and animes starting, that I'm very, very excited about, so I hope to see you in the next video. Keep watching anime, have fun, and see you later.